like, okay, how do you transition from that investment to the comfort? Like you're saying, get it to that deeper from that superficial level, and then, you're transitioning to like, okay, now it's time to, well, we're talking about, we're getting into a deeper part of comfort.
It should happen fairly normally. It shouldn't be something you really have to crowbar, but if you do have to crowbar it, it's okay to just ask chode questions. It's okay to just get to know them, right? The best way to do that is genuinely get interested in them. Genuinely actually decide that you care, right? If you are just going through the motions in a set, it's going to be hard to make the girl feel comfortable and like you care about her because you don't, and it'll come off. Right. Whereas if you genuinely are interested, even the most mundane topics, you can show a lot of interest, right? If someone is, say you ask someone their job, just whatever, and they say like, I'm a doctor, and you go, oh, that's cool. That's it. No comfort built, right? No comfort built. None. You found out a fact about them. Good. Lots of people know that about them. No comfort. But if on the other side you actually were like curious about it, you're like, oh, that's interesting. I know a lot of people that are doctors, and I know some of them do it because they really want to like provide good in the world. I know some people do it because it's like a high statusy job. It's like a successful thing. Some people do it because they love the science. Some people do it because their parents told them to do it, and they that's the way it went for them, and it was just always expected. So I'm curious because you seem like someone who. I mean, the first thing I would have thought when I saw you wasn't necessarily a doctor, so I'm curious what motivated you to do that, right?
That's very sad.
Thank you. But that's a way to make it more personal to them and to build the comfort. And again, the other thing that you're doing there is instead of just asking for value and just getting ideas from them, you just gave them a bunch of your own ideas too. So you're actually finding out about them, but you're sharing your own ideas in the way that you're asking the question. I often say this to girls. Girls have a problem with me a lot of times in the fact that I never ask them questions. Like when the interaction goes really well, they tend to ask me questions because they're chasing really hard, and I don't ask them questions. So a lot of times once they start to really like me, they're like, I don't feel like you care about me. You never ask me anything about myself. And so sometimes I'll be like, okay, well, what do you want to tell me? I am curious. It's just I don't care about facts. I care about who you are emotionally, that sort of thing. But the other thing that I found works well, and I actually believe this. I tell this to them. I say, well, I like it when you ask me questions because I actually learn more about you from the questions you ask me, from like the things that you find important enough to ask than I would from asking questions. Like if I say like, how many siblings do you have, and you say like 3, great, I learned a number. But if you ask me, something about some aspect of my job, I learn that that's what's of value to you. I learn that that's what's of interest to you, and that tells me how your mind works, and that's what fascinates me. So that's another way around it. But the fact of the matter is, I say that and it works as a line, and the fact of the matter is I hate asking girls questions in general, so it gets me out of having to do that. But I also do genuinely care. Like if I'm actually genuinely spending the time with a girl and really actually fielding her questions seriously, I care enough that I do want to get to know her. I just want to get to know her on the things that I care about. So actually genuinely caring is the biggest thing. And then asking the things you care about rather than just asking the things to facilitate conversation. Being willing to even bring things up in a way that's not maybe even politically correct because it's what you actually want to have happen. And being even willing to take those dangerous, terrible risks sometimes because it's what's really on your mind. That can build a lot as well.
Okay, cool.
Other questions?
When's a good time to get a girl? Sorry, you go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
Okay. So when you're gaming a group of girls with your wingmen, like a team of wingmen, would you say it's better for everyone to choose their targets right away from the start, or would you say that's better for everyone to flirt with all the girls equally and then sort of let the girl group decide which girl gets paired up with you and which girls get paired up with your buddies? Sort of.
Well, it depends who you ask. If you were to ask Alex, I think he'd say the latter. If you were to ask me, I would say the former. I think it's good to pair off. It's good to be in one-on-one conversations. And it's good to have made choices because the conversations can get more deep and it's easier to show intent in those one-on-one interactions than it is within the context of the group. But that also probably reflects my personality versus Alex's personality, which is that I'm a natural introvert, and although I lately am starting to actually enjoy clubs for their own sake, for the most part I don't really enjoy clubs so much. I enjoy the people in the club, but I don't enjoy the club per se. And I don't really like conversing with groups of people. I'll do it, and I'm good at it because it gets me, it's a means to an end, which is the one-on-one conversation with the people I really want to talk to. But I really don't like doing group conversations over one-on-one conversations. I'm a natural introvert. So for me, that's what's more natural to me, is to do it that way. For Alex, he likes to party. He's a natural extrovert. And so for him, that makes more sense. And there is a lot of argument to that because you are building more value if you're interacting with your group and not pairing off with the girls. And it is inherently like more of a cool guy thing to do, to be interacting with your group and letting the girls be bystanders or participants. And then also sometimes the girls will select better or whatever, more effectively for pulling than you would have selected. However, all that said, in the majority of pulls that I've seen go down, you need at least one or two of the people in the group to have a really deep connection with the girl, unless it's just like a party pull. If it's a let's go to the next party, then that can work. But to actually like pull girls home, you need there to be some level of connection with some of the girls so that the girls are invested enough to take a lead and actually try and convince their friends. If you don't have any of the girls convincing any of the other girls, you're going to be pushing, or you're having to pull really, really hard the whole time because you're not getting any help from them. Whereas if you can actually get the girls to participate and help out, you're going to be better off. And in order to do that, you do need that one or two girls that's really invested and willing to be a leader. And so I think that helps immensely. Also, for if you're not going to pull, it's much, much easier to close for a phone number in a solid day two off of a situation where you're isolated than off of a group-on-group situation. So I think that's a really big factor as well. So those are the reasons for me why I would say pairing off is the best. But I definitely wouldn't say that's a hard and fast answer, and I wouldn't say that that's an answer for everybody. That's just an answer particular to me. Other questions?
When do you shit test girls?
When do I shit test girls? Whenever I can.
Yeah, I have a question.
No, I love shit testing girls. It's absolutely great. Whenever I can get away with it. Meaning whenever I feel that they are invested enough to try and answer, and whenever I feel that the shit test isn't too try hard. I think that's the issue that a lot of guys run into when they try things like shit testing girls or doing negs or that kind of thing, is that they're trying too hard to do it as a gamey move, and so it doesn't come off. And so I won't shit test a girl just to shit test her, but I'll shit test her if she does something that merits a shit test. Does that make sense? Or I'll shit test her if it's fun for me rather than to.
Screening process.
It's part of the screening process. It's part of me having fun. Like, there are very few things as amusing for me as being like talking to a really hot girl and telling her she can leave and watching her get queasy in her stomach and not want to leave. Like, that's fun for me. I enjoy watching them get like terrified. I just fell off a cliff and I don't know what to do feeling because you just told them to leave, and they're not sure quite if you're serious or not, and they're trying to like maintain their dignity and self-respect and also not lose you. I like it. It's amusing, right? So, it's amusing to me in that moment just because I've been in the opposite side of it so many times and I know how it feels. But it's also amusing to me for a couple other reasons. Number one, because it gets me success. Number one, it's been a crucial part to me getting like laid by a lot of really hot girls. And number three, because the girls actually enjoy it. That's the weird thing about it. Like, it seems mean. It seems like mean to shit test girls. But if you actually see the looks on their face and you see the reactions, you will never see girls happier and more turned on than when you shit test them. It's so bizarre. It's like Tyler has one video that he does in Hot Seat where he says this like mean thing to a girl and then he pauses it and shows her face. And he's like, do you see that look? That is the happiest look that I've ever, like, I have never been that happy in my life. Right? And so the fact of the matter is they actually get a thrill from that. They get an emotional thrill from it. It's like going on a roller coaster for them. You know, like the feeling of going on a roller coaster is not a pleasant feeling. We were not, based on evolution, supposed to feel that. And we are not supposed to like that feeling. That's the feeling of I'm going to die. Okay, that's the feeling of I just fell off a cliff and I'm going to die. That's not a good feeling. But why we subject ourselves to it, because it is so amazing when you have that feeling and then you come out of it. And so you give a girl an opportunity to experience that. You're giving a girl an amazing experience when you shit test her. And so that's something I really like to do. And I'll shit test girls even when it's not necessary. I shit test girls in bed. I shit test girls I'm already with. Like girls that are like, you know, I'm seeing. Right? Like one of my favorite things that I ever said was I was with this like really, really hot girl back in Colorado when I was living there. And I was like just like right on the cusp of like having sex with her for the first time, and she like basically had just like acquiesced and just like given into the fact that we were gonna have sex, and then she was like getting turned on, and she started to like bite me like really hard, and I pushed her like mouth off me. I said, "No, you can't leave marks. My girlfriend gets really jealous." And she's like, "You're such an asshole. I hate you." Right? And then I was like, "No, I'm just kidding. Come here." And then we had sex. But like just giving her that extra little spike before sex. Number one, it was fun for me. Number two, I guarantee you, it made the whole thing better and just like more fulfilling for her as well. Okay. And again, is that a big risk? Oh, hell yes, that's a risk. Yeah, that's a risk that a lot of guys wouldn't take. But it was still the right thing to do because in the spirit of the moment and in the nature of our interaction, the way it had been, it was the right thing to do. And so just being willing to do that is so empowering, but also like just so much fun, both for you and for the girl. So realize you're not doing it as something that you do to the girl. You do it as something you do to the girl and for the girl. Okay, you're doing it to enhance the experience and enhance the set. You're doing it to make the set amazing, not just to try and like knock the girl off her pedestal, or not just as a diss. It has to actually be in the vibe of the set. It has to be playful. It has to be actually for your own amusement and for the overall joy. It's the same way that like you make fun of your friends. Right? When you're with your friends, you don't just have like logical, nice conversation with them. You actually fuck around and mess around with them and whatever. It should be the same with girls. You should have that same liberty. If you don't, then it's I don't know, like a handicapped interaction. It's not right.
That puts it in an interesting perspective for me.
You're welcome, I think. Next question.
Todd, hi. Hello?
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, Todd, I was curious what it is. I was going out a lot, and I wanted to accomplish two things. One was, I think, date a few girls, and another thing was to also build a social circle.
Okay.
Now, I think I was getting confused, trying to also build a social circle and date girls, because obviously when you're dating girls, you've got to start physically escalating, you've got to get sexual straight off the bat. When building a social circle, you've got to be more friendlier. Is it better to say work on one thing and then go to the social circle, or can you do both of them at the same time? Because I found when I was trying to do both at the same time, I was getting confused.
Well, there's both at the same time, and then there's both at the same time. Both at the same time can be like within a certain month period, or it can be on the same girl. And so there are two versions of at the same time. You should make a decision with a girl whether you want her as a friend or whether you want her as more than a friend. And go with that, obviously. But also be flexible, too. If you start out wanting a girl as more and then she does something that turns you off, but she'd still make a good friend, you could do that. Or if it looks like you wanted more with a girl, but then for whatever reason it won't work out, you can always tone it down. You can always change that label as well. But what I would do in terms of building the social circle is certain girls you're going to want to sleep with, absolutely. But you also meet a lot of other girls that are cool girls that you may not want to sleep with. Right, for example, you meet a girl who, say that you're at a pretty high level, you're going to date like 8s and 9s. Say you meet a girl who's a 7, but is just really cool. Just really, really cool. Why would you not hang out with that girl? Right? Now, do you want to take that girl on expensive dates, or do you want to like put like a ton of like time and effort into like necessarily getting massive investment from that girl? Not necessarily, but if you have a common interest or if there's something you can do together, why not just treat that girl the same way you'd treat a guy friend? Or when you're out in the club, if you happen to meet some guys that are part of a group and they're pretty cool, why not just be like, hey, what's up? I'm new in town. I know this is weird, like to get a guy's phone number, but you guys seem cool as shit. Maybe we'll like all hang out sometime, whatever, right? Why not just make that extra effort with a girl that you're not interested in sleeping with, or with guys that obviously I would guess you're probably not interested in sleeping with either. So, you can isolate. You're going to talk to whole groups of people. Or say, for example, maybe you meet a girl and it turns out she has a boyfriend, but you still get along well, maybe you could be friends. Or maybe you can get her to set you up with her other friends, if like his hotties run in packs a lot of times. Or say you talk to a group of girls and the hot girl's a total bitch and just has a terrible personality, but there's some like, chubby little girl in the set that like you would never put your penis in, but she's just fucking cool and fun. You can be like, hey, what's up? I'm, new in town, let's be friends, whatever. I have a girlfriend, it'll never work out, but you seem like a totally cool friend, let's do that, right? So you can always do that kind of stuff.